What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. Welcome you here as we get ready for our live stream. If it's your first time here, welcome. I am glad that you are here. It is good that you're here. And if you're not, welcome back. We're going to get ready to get into it today, but this is actually a pretty special episode. We got a lot to talk about. Every once in a while, a family needs to get together. That's one of them. Before we do, a couple of things. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful thoughts and prayers. You all are my family for sure. Listen, we are day by day. No question about that. Tomorrow, my wife sees the doctor. I don't think she'll be coming back. We are getting very close. Absolutely very difficult to time. There's a couple of really good things that we want to talk about that, couple of good questions that came up. We're going to talk about these at the end of the episode. When is it safe again? What levels would make me feel comfortable again, right? What are the chances of a retest after breaking that top trend line over here? We're going to take a look at it all. We're going to get into the technicals. We're going to look at it. But we got some business to discuss before we do that. We genuinely do over here. Thank you, Stefan, by the way. Thank you, Stefan, by the way. Not just on Twitter, over on the YouTube comments as well. We're going to talk about that. We're having a family meeting right now before we get back into it and make sure we see what's coming next. Now, obviously, the people that are here each and every day, they know exactly what is going on. The support is unparalleled. Unquestioned. I want this on the record, though. So we're going to step back for a second. I want this on the record for prosperity. And we're going to take a look at this and be like, Jordan, how did you get this wrong? Jordan, where was your risk management? By the way, some people who've been here for a long time, completely disappointed. We're going to take a look at it, though. Before I can move forward, I need to have a moment with all of you to go over the charts here and look at what has transpired, what has happened, so that we can figure out what is going next. And we're going to start here. We're going to come down to the 8 hour. The 8 hours where we spend our time. This is what we're all familiar with. Forget everything over here. Forget everything over here. We're going to start way up at the top. All right? We're going to start at the top over here and on each of these pullbacks. Absolutely. This is some of our best work. Masterfully played over here, waiting for those first three pairs, coming in, waiting for the confirmation. You remember this line was drawn in as soon as we had that first touch over here? Do you remember that line was drawn in right as soon as we had that first touch? Waiting for the second line of repair, adding on these repairs. Better than, by the way, when we used to do strategy number 2. Scaling in, whether or not it was a 15, 20, 25, 30% drawdown. Getting the precision as this bull market went on. Like I've never seen elsewhere. Now, let's talk about it, right? As we got over to here, what happened, right? As we got over here, do you remember this whole period? Guys, watch out. Guys and girls, CTM, watch out for a shakeout. It could happen. Watch out for a shakeout. It could happen. Watch out for a shakeout. This particular time of cycle, there's always been a shakeout. Watch for it. And then price broke up. And then it was right over here, Friday morning. I said, you know what? I exited at 62,000. If you didn't and you exited at 58,500, you're not wrong. Right? Okay. Profits all taken. Boom, boom, boom. Like no other. And then what happened? We came in over here for this line of repair. I attacked quickly, by the way. I attacked at about 55,500, 56,000, a little too quick, and I had to get out, right? I took a loss over here. A small loss coming off of beautiful profits, by the way. A small loss. Hey, guess what? I was a little aggressive. I got out. I managed my risk accordingly. And then we got the line correct. And then over here, everyone, as the daily price bar made that first all-time high, should have been positioned again for the repair. I started tracking that at 49,500. By 50,000 was fully in over here. And then as we bumped in over here, we got another line of repair back in over here until what happened? I'm calling over here. By the way, let me clean up this chart really quickly. By the way, this over here, I'm saying to myself, okay, this was the shakeout. This was a 27% drawdown. I'm saying, okay, that's the shakeout over here. It's actually right on time. We got it, managed our risk. Not even perfectly. Like never I've seen before. I have not seen anyone else out there come even close in a league of our own. No question about it. And then what happened? We bounce up over here. Everyone takes the entry down over here by 50,500. You're late if you're not in, right? We go ahead. We continue tracking over here. And then what happens? Elon tweets over here. Do you remember Elon tweets? And what do I say when Elon tweets? Someone just jumped into the lake and kicked up all the mud, and it's murky out there. You got to wait for the dust to settle. But then what happened on Friday? Friday the 14th, Bitcoin trading above $50,000. And I say, you know what? I don't know what's going on. Since the first time that I've been on this channel with y'all, I do not know what's going on. I'm getting neutral. Jordan, you're not going to let us know what's going on. I'm getting neutral. People thought that I exited my core position. I had to correct them afterwards. Of course not. I would not exit my core position. There's no way. I'm holding that the duration of the bull market. We'll talk about spot in a second. This was any type of trading, any type of leverage trading. How could managing risk? Are you kidding? Crushing it like no other. Crushing it. No, you got to follow those who have a history of being right? And then all of a sudden, someone over here, forget all that business. Forget the whole way up from the bottom, positioning in, being there for each and every wave and move. Someone's like, oh yeah, it's a Wyckoff distribution. Yeah, we should follow him now because this kid, yeah, right. Let's call it as it is out there. Some highly disappointing stuff I've seen. Now, I said when I exit the cycle top, I said, watch out, everyone's going to hate me. I know that emotions are going to be running wild. What I saw transpire over this last week or so is pretty disturbing, I have to tell you. Pretty disturbing. You find out people's true character really quickly. Now, over here, right, after I said I'm out, I'm neutral, I do not know what's going on, right? After that, the next thing we did is we start protecting ourselves. We put in this line, and I said, do not attack until we break above. Do not attack. Some people decided they wanted to attack early. You got to take responsibility for yourself. Other people over here decide they want to attack early. You got to take responsibility for yourself. You got to call it as it is. Disappointing. Anyway, and then what happened? We crushed down. Jordan, you didn't see the crash? No, I didn't see the crash. No, I didn't short the crash. I don't sell Bitcoin in a bull market. Now that's my thing. If anyone could say that they saw this crash, this anomaly coming into the market, well then, whatever. I didn't see it. But did I manage my risk better than anyone else out there? What are you talking about? All right, so then what happened, right? So anyway, people got hurt. This Wednesday morning, we're on the live stream. I think you could feel the compassion coming through my voice. It was genuine and it was real. I know that people really got hurt out there. It was a bloodbath. What do you expect from me but to be sincere and genuine? Do you think it was a time for me to be gloating and be like, what are you talking about? Did you not listen to me when I told you to get neutral? Or that I'm getting neutral? Or that if I say I don't know what's going on, I'm getting neutral? What, you think you might know better? Well then okay, maybe you do. But we found out what's up, right? I want this on record and calling it out as it is because that's what it is. There are more than ways to trade. That's for trading and that's for leverage, by the way. There's also trading this bull market. Remember, we have 3 ways to trade the bull market. If you haven't seen it, it's on here in the Bitcoin 4-year cycle on the playlist. The 3 ways to trade the Bitcoin, the ultimate guide to the profit from Bitcoin's bull market phase. Strategy number 1, listed as the best strategy for the majority of you. Just simply hold Bitcoin for the duration of the bull market. See, the problem is everyone has such a high time preference. Jordan, I bought Bitcoin at $55,000. You say 55,000 Bitcoin is cheap. Yep. I definitely do. And I say it's on sale right now. No question about it. My time preference is different. I'm looking to exit at the cycle peak of the bull market. And price, in my opinion, is going to be significantly higher. Now, don't take it for my opinion. Do your own research. And by the way, if you're buying Bitcoin, I don't care if you're buying it at $38,000 today. I don't care if you're buying it at $55,000. I don't care if you're buying it at $64,000 or at $9,000. You best understand what you're doing. Don't buy something and then be like, oh, should I exit? You don't know your exit before you bought? What's going on? What are you doing? That's rule number one. Unquestionably, number one, always know what your exit is before you get into the trade. Many people selling Bitcoin thinking that the cycle's in, the top is in, the bull market's over because they don't understand Bitcoin. If you don't understand Bitcoin, what are you doing investing in Bitcoin? Right? Alan AU over Twitter, by the way, making it very easy. And by the way, just most of you are extraordinarily supportive. You're here each and every day. You know exactly what has happened. You know what's transpired. And I'm grateful for that. But guess what? There was some poison out there. Some poison out there. People calling it not as it happened. It's all on video. That's the best part. It's all, go back to Friday. Watch Friday the 14th. Go back and watch over here when I'm saying, wait, something's wrong. Someone just jumped into the lake and kicked up all the mud and it's unclear and you have to wait for the dust to settle. And it was still waiting for the dust to settle. Still waiting for the dust to settle. We're still going to figure out what's happening forward. And it's still murky out there. Nevertheless, right on time, with that precision, I take issue when people misrepresent me. There's no question about that. I take issue with that. So I'm putting on record exactly what happened, and it's all on video. You could go back, you could pick any date, anything that's happening in the market, and look what I was saying and how I acted. It's all, but I'm not going to gloat as there's blood and people are feeling pain. Are you kidding me? That's not who I am. Now, other people are wondering, by the way, spot, what's going on? Jordan, why don't you sell your, I'm not selling my spot. My stop loss is zero. My stop loss is zero. At the peak of the bull market, I will sell it. All right? No, I've not changed. I'm trading my plan and according to plan. The bull market, we're halfway through. Alan, over on Twitter, I retweeted this twice. He went through all on-chain metrics showing you, you could go through them yourself. That's why I'm bringing it up for those who were not following me on Twitter. Go to my profile, go to Alan, go on Alan Au, and he's going through every on-chain metric showing you that we are not close to the peak of the bull market over here and that we are halfway through. Know what's going on over here. You have the Bitcoin golden ratio, by the way. What this is, for those that are not familiar, you take the cycle low and you go to the halving. Every cycle previously has shown that is 51% of the move, and then you're looking at the bull market phase being 49%. All you need to do is go back to the bear market low. You come into the bear market low. You count how many days to the halving, and then you go forward 49%. We're only halfway through right now. We still got a ways to go. Now, we're going to have to make sure we get the precision right. Some things have changed. And whether or not this was the shakeout over here, this 27% drawdown, or this is over here, I still don't know. I don't know if we're looking, and I did this work with you on Friday, at approximately 150 days here to the cycle peak, somewhere around the middle to end of September. Or if it's 30 days later now and it's going to be down from over here and it comes in somewhere around the middle to the end of October. We're going to be figuring that out together. I don't know yet. It's unclear. It's still murky out there. All right. We're going to come back later and talk about the questions people wanted to know about. The questions as far as, when is it safe? At what level? What about the chances of a retest breaking that top trend line and all of that? But first, we got a little bit of more stuff to cover over here together, right? The fear in the markets, man. It was a little alarming to see how people reacted. I think it was a good week. I told you many are called, few will be chosen. I told you that from the beginning. This was a big wake-up call about who's going to be there at the peak of the bull market and who's not. Big wake-up call. People's emotions running wild. If you're trading with leverage, experts only, from the very beginning and each time it's ever been talked about, lightly leveraged, experts only. The best way for most of you to profit from the Bitcoin bull market is simply by buying and holding the duration of the bull market, right? People selling down here. You don't know where you are. Look at these other times we've seen fear in the market. I want to talk about it with you really quick. I knew what was happening right over here, this first arrow, because that was right after the capitulation. By this time, I have grown to understand the 4-year cycle. Look over here, this tweet over there, December the 6th, earliest possible sign of a double bottom now forming. It takes courage to buy when there's blood in the street. Look at the fear index through the roof. What about this next fear index right over here? It was right afterwards. How about this for a price prediction? I understand the 4-year cycle. I understand. Let me pull up the halving tracker for you. I understand what happens over here. From this accumulation after the capitulation, we spring up. I understood the 4-year cycle at this point. Why there's fear rampant. I'm like, okay, how about this for a price prediction? Within 3 months, we're going to see Bitcoin's trading down here, $4,000. We're going to see 8,400 Bitcoin. And I was right, except it surpassed it. It went even higher. We went even high. This is what I was looking for. This is the model. Jordan, how are you going to use a model? Why are you using a model of past price behavior? I don't know. This is where it's got me. And how? What are you talking about? So over here, judging what type of reaction we're going to have. We went up higher. We went up much higher. We went up to 14,000. Nevertheless, why the fear is rampant, calling it out there. Everyone knows how I reacted over here during the March crisis, using this as an opportunity to add to my position. Everyone knows that. And now we're over here. How do I react? The next fear point. This is when we're looking at fear being sub 15, the highest it goes. How does Jordan react over here? I'm buying. I'm buying this dip too. That's what I'm doing over here. That's just so you know where I'm at and where and when. If you want to know why I'm following something, because this is how far it's gotten me and this is where I am. And we still have so much to go. I have to sit down with the team. We have to figure it out. And there's no rush to do that today. There is no rush to do that. Right now, everything is murky. There's no question about that. This was an unexpected event over here. We're looking at a massive, 53%? 54% drawdown from the all-time high in a bull market. When was the last time we saw that happen outside of the COVID crisis? We were not yet in a bull market when that happened, by the way. That's 63% drawdown. We weren't in a bull market. The last time that happened, right? That was over. Let's pull it up over here. Oh, no. No. Before I do that, I'll do it right now. The last time that happened, I'm looking for my halving tracker over here. The last time that happened over here that we had a massive 70% drawdown was in the 2012 4-year cycle during the bull market, right? Now remember, this current cycle so far has been an average of the two. Now we're putting in a 53%, not as much, less, but more than this 40% drawdown. You mean that this current drawdown over here was an average of the two? Right? What about on the upside? What happens next? Do I think that means that we are now going sideways over here and we've entered lengthening cycles? Well, that would be why? Why would I think that? Could I make that assessment if we don't peak in October by the latest and then say, wait, something has changed? Yeah, of course. But how could you make up some type of conclusion before it's been proven? That doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't. Well, what are we looking at? Here we are right now, Jordan. What happens from here? Well, I don't know. It's kind of murky out there. I need to let the market prove itself. There's a while before I feel safe again. What would that level be? Well, let's, people are wondering, well, when do you feel safe and confident again? The earliest I would feel safe and confident again, by the way, is breaking above this trend line over here. Right now, that's high. And that's the same level I pulled out to you in a different way on Friday. When I said to you, we need to get above $53,000 in order to know that we do not have the possibility of trading back down and this becoming option B, a Wyckoff accumulation pattern. I see people looking on the 1-minute chart over the weekend saying like, look, this is Wyckoff accumulation. You are so far out of the game, it's ridiculous. They don't spend 3 months putting in a distribution pattern, if they did, to accumulate on the 1 minute over a weekend and bring it back up. This will be sideways price action for a while if that's what's occurring. We will know, as we looked at on Friday session, if you missed it, if we come back down and make a lower low, that would be our first indication. We could trade up much higher before that happens. And it's not just up into 46,000, $47,000. We could go as high as even $53,000 before this rolls over again, comes down. If that does happen, we will jump over and we will be watching the roadmap helping us through as we get in over there, still expecting to peak on a 4-year cycle time horizon. Because the only reason they accumulate is to bring it back up. The only reason that they bring it down is to spend their time accumulating, knowing they're bringing it back up. But that's option B. That's not our game plan. That's not what we expect or what I expect is going to happen. You know, what I still expect is happen is that we're going to see 2 more waves into the blow off top. Now, whether or not it plays out like that or how smoothly, listen, did you think it was easy? Did you think it was easy? And people, Jordan, could you make shorter videos? Could you just tell me do you not understand the time and dedication it takes me to figure out what's going on? To be able to masterfully trade and manage my risk like no other. It takes the dedication I put in with you each and every day. And if you want the Cliff Notes, the short version, you're going to get wrecked, and this is not for you. Few are chosen. And those standing with me at the finish line, they're going to know the work they put in. They're going to know the fortitude it took. They're going to know the courage. They're going to know the dedication. There's nothing easy about it. There's nothing easy about it whatsoever. What's next? I don't know. I take the same posture that I've taken. Look, this was a massive unforeseen event. Yes, there was manipulation. Yes, there was over leverage that caused the manipulation to be able to take foot. You know, what happens next? What are the chances that we come back and we test this trend line or break below it? I don't know, 50-50? You know, do I think you need to be, if you're looking to buy Bitcoin right now, I assume that means with spot. And I assume that means with a low tie preference. Is there anyone here who thinks that a year from now, Bitcoin will be trading under 37,000? If you do not buy Bitcoin, right? If you think it's going to be higher, is this not a gift? What are you doing, right? I don't know what happens next. We need some more time for this to play out. The water is still very extraordinarily murky. Price jumping off of this first repair, you know, that doesn't mean much right now. We're still under pressure. There's still a lot of fear in the markets. There's still a lot of people out there making very bad decisions right now, right? As I told you over here, by the way, let me jump back over here, right? When all of a sudden when Elon tweeted and we came back down, the reason I said someone just jumped into the water and muddied up everything is because this shakeout is supposed to be a V. When we come back down over here and it's no longer a V, something is wrong. I don't know what it is. But then the next day, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm getting neutral. You know, I'm out. Jordan, what happened to managing risk, CTM core principles? Who did it better? Who did it better? I have to say, I was really hurt by some of the people and their reactions. I get really, I take it personally because I give everything to each and every one of you all the time. No question about that. People here can't take responsibility. People getting too emotional over here. If you look at what happened, by the way, as I continue looking at what's going on, let me bring us back over here and see that, yes, this is very much still an average of the past 2 cycles, knowing that the volatility in the first cycle brought the massive volatility to the upside, right? Am I still looking at massive volatility to the upside? And what would that look like? You know, but if you just look, by the way, and we repeated what happened in 2016, we are obviously continue to outperform 2016, whether it's volatility to the upside, whether it's volatility to the downside, and whether it's the amount of time we consolidated, we continue to outperform 2016. Now, whether it's to the upside, whether it's for the length we consolidated, or the volatility to the downside, we continue to underperform 2012. Right? So if you look at what just happened in 2016 from the low of the shakeout, yeah, that's not the one I want. Sorry about that. Let me come back to the halving tracker. Boom. If we were just to continue the pace with the expectation, my expectation that we're going to be outperforming, we're looking at 250,000 Bitcoin from where we are today. If you remember when I put out over here, this is 2 months ago, my price predictions between 260,000 and 410,000 Bitcoin NY. We are right there in that sweet spot today. If we just perform the 2016, we'll be hitting my low end. I expect we outperform to the upside. That has not changed. Now, could that change going forward? Absolutely. That's what the command center is for. That's why we're here together each and every day, watching what's going on and making sure and adjusting to the market. Not having the market do something else and then being like, no, it's going to just adjusting to whatever the market's showing me, learning the market, learning the lessons that the markets give to me. Some people are wondering whether or not we had a double peak, that we saw a blow off top. They're called, I think, let me clarify this. Some people are wondering whether or not we're having a double wave, right? That this was the first wave, this is the peak of it, and that we're gonna come back down sideways for a while, and then still, towards the end of the 4-year cycle come up. That could very well be. We could enter an accumulation phase, and that could very well play out. We have to watch out for that. That's option B. I don't know what's gonna happen. I have to asterisk, just let everyone, that's not a blow off top though. Let's not call it a blow off top because the price went sideways for 3 months. When price is a blow off top, that's a blow off top. Like, it's very distinct. It's very easy to see. This might be a double wave where this was an interim top. We go sideways for a while, and then September, October, come back up and peak for the 4-year cycle. All right? Just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, because some people are throwing out terms that don't make sense, saying, well, we just had a blow off top. Price went for 3 months, price went sideways. There's no blow off top. All right? What else could happen? Where are we at? Where are we at, friends? Family. Here's another indication of a blow off top over here. You could see, by the way, if you go back and you watch the videos we put out over here, when price was right over here, I pulled up this chart for you, and I had you envision where we are today and how price was going to be here. Jordan, why are you following a past model? Jordan, why are you following a past model? Doesn't make sense. Bitcoin should not be over 20,000, Jordan. Right? If you look at what happened as we come above the dark blue of the channel, you could see that's when you're having a blow off top mid-cycle. That's an indication. That's an indication of a cycle peak over here. Cycle peak over here. Cycle peak? No, we're well within the bound. On the downside, we're well within the bound. Right? Look at the difference over here. This is the 2016 cycle. Until we peaked, we never got past the halfway of the channel. Right? We held the lower band of the dark blue, but we never got a past. This channel, what happened? Oh, actually, we're in the upper half of the bound. Oh, this is a what? An average of the 2 cycles. You could see it clearly playing out over here. Clearly an average. In this one, we were towards the upper bound, right? And then we came back and we tested the top of the blue band. Well, in this one, that's different. We're just towards the top of the blue band. We never broke above it. Now we're towards the bottom. People are fearful. This is when you should be leaning in. This is the time to buy over here. This is the mid-cycle shakeout. Right on time. A little different. We said it from the very beginning. Look, it's not going to be the exact same, and there's no question about that. What we just experienced is a huge anomaly. This is not, I don't know still to this day if this is supposed to be the V, and we're looking at peaking somewhere around mid-December, and this was Elon tweet, and then the coordinated manipulation. It was a coordinated, and it was manipulation by some big players, and they caused massive liquidations, causing price over here to show an anomaly. Or at least from where I'm standing. And I don't know if this is the mid-cycle shakeout over here or not. We're going to adjust as we go forward. And that's where we're at today. So, let me step in over here and see what's going on with all of you. All right? No. Listen, I know that the majority of over you, there were some ugly, nasty comments, not only on Twitter, also on YouTube. People that have been here for a while watching these videos saying, Jordan, what happened to you managing your risk? Jordan, how did you not see that coming? Who managed it and who saw it better and cleaner? It's all on video. It's all on video. Now listen, when we got off the session on Friday the 14th, when I said, listen, I don't know where I am. I have clarity in not being clear, right? I said from the beginning of the session, here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you why I do not have clarity, and you're going to find clarity in that. And I walked away saying, listen, I still need time for the dust to settle, for the mud to settle, right? And then Ian saying, Jordan, thank you for the clarity in that. You have to be okay with not being clear. You have to be okay with saying, listen, right now, we just experienced an event that it doesn't. And you remember, everyone remembers, I know everyone remembers this whole period. Watch out for a possible shakeout coming. And then for this whole period, something's not right. I don't know what it is. Something's not right. I don't know what it is. We normally have sore alts peaking when Bitcoin comes in for its mid-cycle shakeout, but the Bitcoin dominance is still high. It's 44%. I'm sorry. Bitcoin dominance is 44%. It peaked out last time at 38%. I don't know what it is, but something's not right. Something's a little off. That caused Ted to go ahead and look at the charts and then say, huh, and he posted it out on Discord and he said, huh, you know what? We might not have had that dip yet. I still don't know what it is personally. I feel very comfortable being unclear in this moment. I feel very comfortable being neutral in this moment. If I see us recover, right, and I see us then all of a sudden get where I believe we're safe, I feel very comfortable at that point, wading into the river, wading into the pond, and making sure, everything's back on time. Right now, I don't know what happens next, but I'm going to be there to figure it out as it gets clear and unfolds. I will be, when it's safe, the first one back in the river, back in the pond. Yeah, Gary. All right. So thank you for taking the time. I know that the vast majority of you who have shown your support, who have talked with clarity about what happened, I know that you already know this. I wanted it on record because there's too many people putting poison out there. You know what a rotten apple does to the bunch, right? That poison is contagious. I go to great lengths to nurture, to develop, to build this community. I'm not going to have someone out there who's just not right with themselves going ahead and destroying that work. It's all on video. We have a record of it. It's all on video. All right. I'm going to play some head snack over here. All right. I'm going to play some head snack and see if we're going to continue what's going on. Check in with you guys in your comments and see if we have anything else we need to talk about. There you go, Alan. Alan, right on time.
Analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing, the prices might be slashing just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room. Grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Flow from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
It's a taco day. It's a taco day.
All right, cool. A couple of good things to build off over here. Let's get going and bring it in to the next part of the program, even looking a little bit at the markets to see what's going on. A lot of people leaning in and worried about what's going on in traditional markets right now. But we see China actually over the weekend taking a stance, what they are calling and seeing as inflation, right? As the Fed here calls it transitory. China knows that they're the ones buying all those commodities. They're taking a look at what's going on. The market's liking that right now. We'll take a look at that in a second. A couple of comments to talk about over here, starting with this one. And it's true. Roberto saying, listen, calling the melt your face off move didn't help. 100%. Over here, down over here at the bottom of this V, right? I said, listen, this is the beginning of the parabolic move right over here, right? This is the beginning of it, and get ready for your melt your face off move, which is coming next. And I was wrong, and I took full and clear responsibility for that really quick. Over here, I listen. I spent so much time saying, and when we're talking, it's funny because people misinterpret things. You know, could you imagine Jordan out here like, I was so wrong. I shouldn't have done that. My timing was off. I was wrong, right? Not waiting to down here being like, oh, I was wrong. Right over here saying I was wrong after Elon tweeted that didn't happen. I was wrong. It's like looking at like, you know, a cathedral and finding a nail that was hammered in a little bit crooked. If that's what you're pointing out, for real, you know, how quickly did I own myself and take responsibility? No, I was wrong. Not only am I wrong, I don't know what's happening now, and I'm getting neutral. How about them apples over there? That's not a rotten one, right? But it's true, Roberto, that did not help the overall situation at all. There's another one I want to talk about over there. Boom, 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 boom. 1 second. So this one over here. The only thing as a community we need to ask ourselves, if we didn't see this pullback coming, therefore we need to be extra cautious about how we approach the actual peak. No more assumptions. I mean, listen, it's a good comment, and everyone that's listening to it could take that in and absorb it for themselves and what they mean, as they should, what happened over on this past behavior, right? Now, when you say didn't see this pullback coming, no, I didn't see this coming, and I wasn't looking for this, and it's an anomaly, right? And I wouldn't look for it, and I can't look for it, right? But it's about managing your risk. And once things became murky, right, after Elon's tweet on Friday the 14th, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting neutral. That's the best way you can manage your risk. If you're looking for an anomaly to happen, if you're looking for only outside of a bear market, the third time in Bitcoin's history, it had more than a 40% pullback. That's not how I do it. And I don't think that personally you should be doing that, right? But the second part, Stefan, is very important, right? Everyone needs to be extra cautious, whether it's looking at the cycle peak, not making any assumptions. And at the same time, listen, there's no way that I could have maneuvered and done everything I've done without having confidence and making assumptions. There's no way that I'm calling, you know, in these two areas, you know, why the fear index is running through the roof, that I'm saying, hey, this is probably the bottom. We now have a double bottom. This wind up being an Adam and Eve bottom over here. And then calling over here, hey, we're going to 8,400 and we're doing it within 3 months. Why everyone here is scared because, you know, Tony Vase is telling everyone we're going down to 1,500. Right? The only way I could do that is by making assumptions and sticking to the model and following what's going on. So that's a tough one. I don't think you're wrong, but at the same time, you know, it's more nuanced than that. It's not that easy, I don't think. I think a lot of people learned, you know, lessons are very important. I think a lot of people learned. Oh, I took away my trend lines over there. I don't want that out. We got so messy, but hold on 1 second. Please let me clean that up so I could talk about an important lesson over here that people have been going through and could learn from. Very important stuff. I got to take a breath here. All right. We'll clean that up later. But I wanted to get over to here. I think a lot of people learned, and very clearly, when I put out this line over here after I said I got neutral and after I said, listen, I don't know what's going on and I need to wait for the mud to settle, for the dust to settle. And I threw out this line. I put it on Twitter. I put it in Discord. And I know a lot of people entered over here. They said, hey, I'm just going to, and a lot of people entered over here. You know, could you have entered over here? Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm waiting for the dust to settle personally, you know, either which way. What I'm getting at is I think that people have learned, guess what? I'm taking on way more risk than I should. When we talk about lightly leverage and when we talk about knowing and understanding your liquidation levels, and when we talk about experts only, hey, wait a second. Maybe I'm not an expert. Maybe I'm not an expert. And maybe even strategy number 2 for me is probably where I should be leaning in, or intermediate is a little too much for me. Maybe I'm one of those people that is going to get the most out of this bull market, as Jordan said, is the majority, by just holding spot Bitcoin for the duration of the bull market. Oh, maybe I'm too prone to taking risks, and maybe I don't have the experience yet, And then you have strategy number 3, advanced, taking profits, using strategy number 2 and with strategy number 3. Maybe it's called advanced for a reason. You got to look at yourself honestly. But don't not take responsibility for your own actions. Don't blame someone else. Don't say, listen, can't you just tell me when to buy and sell? No. All right. So anyway, I'm going to play some honeymoon over here. I'm going to see if there's any good questions to come back to. Otherwise, we're going to call it a short and tight session over here. Beautiful, Jan. Thank you for reminding us and people over the world to definitely be thinking of those that have served and continue to do so, giving us the opportunity to enjoy the freedom and liberty that we do. Alexa, could you please go ahead and share the chart? I would love you to share the chart. Tag me on Twitter. I'll go ahead and retweet it. I would like to take a look at that. A couple of things to talk about over here. You ready? First one over here, we talk about, rotten apples over here. This guy talks for a whole hour and will say everything uber bullish. 40 minutes later, I'm neutral. Then whatever happens, he just says, I told you. No, there's only one time since the channel started. There's only one time ever. It's May the 14th ever that I said, I do not know what's going on. I'm getting neutral. There's only one time ever I said, I do not know what's going on and I'm getting neutral. Listen, there's not much else to say, but you're an idiot. And that's that, and you're an idiot. All right. What else? We got a classic Wyckoff manipulation. I don't know that that's the case. I don't believe that's the case personally. What I believe, I'm going to talk about this because option B, this was Wyckoff distribution, right? Option B, because that pattern's perfect. 100% the pattern looks exactly like it. Now, if we come shooting back up, that was not. There's no way that was. If we come back up, that if we're, whatever. Well, yeah, I got Ian and I got a bunch of people in Conquering the Markets inside the Discord putting out precision, our goalposts, and what we're looking at, right? If we come ahead and Plan B winds up playing out, and we come back down and we take out this low and we enter into this, call it 2 to 3 month accumulation pattern, then it was. I am in the belief that was not. I'm in the belief this was playing out exactly as the previous cycle. And then what happened was you saw some big players trying to do whatever they were trying to achieve. It's on chain. The manipulation's evident. It led to massive liquidations because everyone was over leveraged, and it led to massive liquidations that led to this massive price spike down. That's what I'm under the impression happened. We don't know yet. We will know. I'm open to this happening. This could very well play out. We could come into, this was a double wave, not a blow off top because we went sideways for 3 months, but it could be a double wave. We could wind up going into an accumulation phase, going sideways and not coming back up until September, October. That's option B. It could play out like that. I think that all of you I think that the majority of the float, the majority of the community, not our community, of Bitcoiners out there are mistaken about that being a Wyckoff manipulation. We will see. We will see who's proven right. And again, we're not talking too far in the future. And if I'm wrong, by the way, and because we're on our way up right here, right now. This is where we are, where my mouse is. We're on the way up, right? If we roll over and take out that low, which is still, a distinct possibility, then I'll be like, okay, that absolutely was. But not only that, I want to know when I'm wrong as soon as possible so that I could be on the right side of the market, right? People were saying, Jordan, how could you say you're on the right side? Who did this better, right? Big, and that brings me over to Brandon, by the way. Beautiful stuff Brandon continues to put out for the community. Right over here, Sean is saying, I think a lot of what Brandon has been saying has been spot on. I know you do not like it moving averages, but considering the market momentum, it seems valid in hindsight. Listen, there's an enormous reason that I not only nurtured, supported, and gave Heath and Brandon a platform is because they're conquering the market to the core because I believe in them, and I think that everyone has a lot to learn from them. I think what Brandon and Heath is doing is exceptional, both of them. Right? Now, me and Brandon, we got to the same place at the same time in a different way. Brandon didn't sell his spot. I didn't sell my spot. He got out of any leverage. I got out of my leverage, right? He noted it in a different way than I noted it, right? I wasn't taught, right? But listen, this is when I was positioning in. This is when I'm positioning in. This is when I'm positioning in. This is when I'm positioning in. 62,000 I sold. It's on a Friday, right? Here's the date over here. Friday, April the 17th. Go watch the live stream. And I told you, listen, that was a pretty aggressive exit. If you got out at 58,500, the level I've been calling out for days to you, then you're not late. Then you're not late. Those are the exact words that I use, the exact level I put out there for everybody. Profit, but listen, when people are out there getting wrecked, I'm very delicate, making sure that I understand the situation they're in. I don't care if you made a mistake. I'm not going to hold, I still feel bad. There's no, I want to see everyone succeeding. When people are getting hurt, I'm not going to, I feel bad about that. So I think what Brandon is doing, absolutely good stuff. That's the whole reason why Brandon and Heath are featured on my YouTube channel. There's a reason for that. All right. Another question over here, though. Listen, Logan, don't spam the channel, though, asking 100 times. But listen, do you plan on moving to XRP after you sell Bitcoin? From past cycles, XRP has soared as Bitcoin peaks. We have a training session looking at this particular moment. It's like a 3-week window where you see alts, by the way, making a massive move. We talked about what criteria would have to occur between now and then for that trade to set up, right? And if that trade sets up, which pairs I'm going to be looking at. That's something we're going to be talking about together in the weeks ahead. It's not XRP. It's not XRP. Now, when I get to work with Brandon and do a session together, at that particular time, I'm gonna let him know and everyone at the same time the pairs that the two pairs that the only ones that I'm interested in. I want to get Brandon's feedback and insight and input into that. And then we have a channel on there, Exiting Bitcoin on Discord, where everyone else gets to talk about that as well, planning that out. But it's absolutely definitely not XRP. All right. Let me just make sure there's not a couple of questions or any questions that I missed, because there's lots of good questions that we're going through over here. Let me just take a moment over there. I'm going to play some music while I look. There it is. Let's just talk about the equity markets. Let's just talk about the equity markets over there. See, Brian, I don't know. You know, I did, and that's not the reason why I got out. So I don't know about that, Brian. But anyway, everyone has to form their own opinion. This is on the S&P 500. We continue to track this line over here. This is the line. As long as we're above it, we're looking technically pretty solid over here. We drew this line in, by the way, as we were right over here, coming back down in here on this sell-off, and everyone was saying, this is when we drew the line in. Why? Go back and watch the session. May the 12th, we held support over here, held it twice, and now we're just consolidating right over here back in there's nothing going on over here. Everyone is so alarmed. I don't know why. Equity markets just a stone throws from all-time highs. By China over the weekend, saying that they're going to try to actually do their best to take a look at and curb inflation. The market's like that right now. That's the only signal the markets are focused in on right now. Look, if you follow look at over here at the Nasdaq, if you follow the work that Zero Hedge, like it, love it. There's no other place that I've been able to formulate my opinions over the years that has proven and been more correct. You have to have the ability to weed through all the nonsense, and there's a ton of nonsense on that site. There's a ton of nonsense in that site, but you have to learn how to filter out the noise and focus in on signal, right? For a long time, they've talked about the importance and the role that China plays in the world economy. Again, this is just building off of that. Look, let's focus on the technicals really quick, right? Do you remember over here when this was our first line of repair, the aggressive one? We came into the horizontal resistance and my trend line resistance. I said it's a confluence area of resistance. We need to get above that for this to be looking like it's continue up. Price wound up selling off actually, right? Still holding the breakout of the trend line. However, everyone here should have taken a break even, because as you come into the first bit of a support or resistance, your stop losses move to break even, right? Everyone back neutral over here, right? No one should have held through all of this and back up. That's just not right. Then you had what? This is conquering the markets all day long. Breakout, retest, then the resumption up right there above the resistance. Also making a new swing high over here. Nasdaq, like the S&P, looking very good over here. People always calling for a crash. Everything looks good. We're not having any technical breakdowns. We don't follow these markets closely because there's no need to. But the amount of time that we put into them and give them, which is nothing more than minutes, maybe 10 minutes a week, has proven to be any analyst than you can find anywhere else. That's just what it is. The DXY over here selling off today a little bit. Again, this is something to continue to watch over here. I put in the line over there as we would see a possible, for this the sell pressure that we've been seeing to alleviate. If we break this support over here, 89.40, 44, it could get interesting. It could get very interesting because then it's 89.44. If we break 88.40, it's over. We're going to see a massive sell-off. So we're near some important levels right now, and we'll just continue watching that from afar. What are gold and silver doing? Maintaining their breakout. And the precision which we've reacted. Jordan, when are you going to learn to manage your risk? All right, everyone. Listen, that's it for today. This is just an important. No, Kips. That was not. Hold on one second. That was not directed at you, Kips, at all. or even close. I have no idea what's going on in the comments, anything that you've said, but I'm telling you from, one man to another that was not directed at you whatsoever or anything like that. All right, just so we're on the same page. I don't think that for a second. I don't even know what. Not even a little bit, my brother. Not even a little bit. All right. Listen, I'm sorry to have to go through all that this morning with you. This was just one of those occasions because there are people out there, spreading some fear and uncertainty and disinformation, and it needed to be addressed. It's all on video. All right, everyone. Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for your prayers for my family. Greatly appreciated. Of course, if my wife goes into delivery any day, anyway, I'll be in touch with y'all. Lots of love. Thank you for everything, and have a beautiful day, everybody. Just one other thing over here. There was a good question I saw. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I missed this one. Right, Jordan. Did it happen to catch up again a bit with Ben? And if so, what's your updated consensus? No, me and Ben didn't plan on catching up until maybe sometime toward the end of June or July. There's no way that I'm looking at lengthening cycles at this point. And I've told you again, I tell you, I'm just consistent. I'm always extraordinarily consistent. If, by the end of October, we haven't peaked and prices going sideways, I'm going to say, oh my goodness, Ben was right. And I want to know everything that he's saying and teaching us. There's no question about that. What are the odds? The other question was that we're going to have a V-shaped recovery, right? Well, listen, at this point, things are not right. Things are shaky and the mud needs to settle. That's still option A. There's two options from this point, the way I see it. Option A, we continue back right on time, right? This is option A. This is option B. And if option B occurs, because we're only here right now, this is not a V. This is also not, it's too soon to call it accumulation, right? But if we roll over, we take out that low, it's very clearly that we're now in option B, that we're entering a prolonged sideways accumulation phase, and we're going to be able to navigate it as best as we can, making sure we get ready for that rise. So I don't know yet, and anyone who says they know at this point, I don't know about that either. I feel really good. And it was right over here on Friday, May the 14th, when I'm like, listen, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting neutral. I'm waiting for the dust to settle. Someone just did a huge cannonball into the pool, into the lake. They kicked up a bunch of mud. I don't know what's going on, and I'm going to wait for it to settle. Right? We get back above 53,000, as I pointed out very clearly on Friday, as I pointed out in today's session. We get above this area. At that point, I'm saying, okay, now I feel good again. Do I need to be involved in this uncertainty right now and for how long it lasts? Nope, I do not. I'm holding my spot and I'm feeling good buying the dip. All right, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much.